Well, Blue Monday. How I hate Blue Monday.
It is the bluest of Mondays across Seattle. Once proud 12-man flags hang soggy and spent. A season thrown away, like an old Skittles wrapper.
Well, you sing the blues, makes you feel a little bit better. It's how you survive a day like this.
It's a day that hit like a pile driver. That one play, a pounding hangover that just won't go away.
I was expecting a touchdown, and then it's like interception. Oh my God. And then there was shock. I think my mind was blank.
It's so heartbreaking because this city, that's been a lovable loser in the sports world for decades, had finally become a winner. A second consecutive Super Bowl victory would vanquish the critics forever. But it was not to be. Today, fans could do little more than commiserate over Bloody Marys and drown their sorrows in cheese. Lots and lots of cheese. Food to comfort souls that have been chewed up and spit out.
And it was like 2 minutes and 32 seconds, and it was like, we can still do this because this is how we got here. And then it was like,
It's actually kind of sad.
When Kristen Meyer woke up this morning, she saw a bundle of blue and green balloons sinking listlessly to the ground outside her window. The note attached read,
These are balloons from the worst Super Bowl loss ever. He's like, I can't look at them anymore.
yes, it's one of those days. A day that feels cursed, not just by the football gods, but even the parking gods.
Come on, breaking people a ticket on a day like today, it's a national day of mourning for the Seahawks.
I know it is, isn't it? This is a 1 hour zone. He's been here a couple hours.
Some might be tempted to look to baseball season for solace, but Hawks fans don't need to. The future at CenturyLink is still bright,
But you know, I really hate Blue Monday.
despite the gloomy skies.
Inside of every gray cloud, there's a silver lining, I guess. So we'll be looking to the future next year.
Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
Oh, yeah.
Our quest to find the elusive owl started before most of you woke up. We're at Discovery Park in Seattle just after sunrise.
It's interesting the things that affect owl habitat.
I'm here with Paul Bannock. Together, we're trudging along miles of trail, searching for the barred owl, the one from page 102 of Paul's new book, Owl, A Year in the Lives of North American Owls.
I wanted to create a book that raised awareness about the lives of owls. The reason being is that I believe that we protect what we love.
The 19 species of North American owls are easy to love and just as hard to find.
The best thing to do is to learn about the owl's habitat. Where does it hunt? What kind of food does it hunt? When does it hunt?
To find the barred owl, Paul and I are looking for the perfect mix of living trees and dead trees.
That tree that's fallen down there would make a great listening perch for a barred owl.
Shade and sunlight.
It's to their benefit to stay hidden.
Open spaces with nearby hiding places.
We have to think like an owl when we're looking for owls. And some might say, oh, it's a fire hydrant. This is man stuff. The owl won't be here. But an owl sees low perch, easier to hear.
After a few minutes hearing Paul, I realized he's almost reciting his book from memory. He didn't just take the photos, he wrote the text too. This man is an encyclopedia of owl knowledge. Pygmies and great grays, short ear, long ear, and all the snowies you can imagine.
About 20 years ago, I started looking for owls. And the first year I looked for them, I didn't find a single owl. What I learned is that the best places to find owls are oftentimes the coldest, darkest, wettest, most uncomfortable places.
You probably get asked this all the time. Yeah. What's your favorite photo?
My favorite photo? You know, being a photographer is humbling because I don't have a perfect photograph. But one of my favorite photos in the book is a photo of a great gray owl, a young great gray owl, leaping out of a nest that's 50 feet high, and it's in a mistletoe mat in Alaska. I worked for 10 years to get that photograph.
I wish Paul and I had that sort of time. He knows better than anyone. You don't find owls. They find you.
We can see owls nesting, roosting, hunting.
But not today.
But not today. Oftentimes my favorite photograph is the one that I'd always envisioned in my head and was never able to get.
Like the photograph today we both wanted and never got. In Discovery Park, Dan Casuto, King 5 News.
This land's native tribe believes there was a time the wild and the people spoke the same language. Language more like a heartbeat that connected all who lived here. Inside this wooden box is an animal whose voice went silent decades ago.
Pull this up.
All right. Go right ahead.
Pull it up.
Fishers were over-harvested for fur. During the Great Depression, one pelt could sell for today's value of $1,700. So it didn't take long for fishers to go extinct in Washington.
Well, it's so important because our people have always looked after everything on the land.
Christy Palmatier and other First Nations people helped transport 10 fishers from British Columbia. Native drums blessed their release.
I feel like that really helped them on with their journey to find a new home.
Last year, wildlife officials released 23 fishers south of here. 5 have died and none reproduced.
It's the identity, and bringing these fishers back here is an identity to what this area was at one time.
Hanford McLeod is a Nisqually tribal councilman. He says the animals once took care of his people, and now his people are taking care of them.
The deer, the elk, the bear, you know, they have a significance to who we are. It kind of brings it together.
Can you hear it?
The fishers are all tagged with radio transmitters so wildlife officials can track their progress. The carnivores now connect 9 tribes, all here to say goodbye.
And in the background, I can hear water here, and that's how it is back home. You can just hear the water and just quietness. They're gonna love this area.
In Mount Rainier National Park, I'm Allison Morrow, King 5 News.
Well, I've worked here for many, many years, and this is the worst as far as the number of people here this early lining up. I mean, we had people lining up at 2:30 in the afternoon, which is normally 2 hours before they do it. It's all because of Griffey.
Love to get some bobbleheads for the kiddos. Would love to see his Hall of Fame plaque, too.
That's the right field line over there. The end of it's way up that way.
I don't want to be in the picture. Yeah, I want to see the plaque. Oh, definitely.
I've got to give my bobblehead to her son,
who was born on Ken Griffey Jr.'s
she
birthday.
bought the tickets.
Thank you so much.
I got it right there. We got one.
First in line.
Oh man, that's awesome to see it straight up right here, man.
The real thing.
The real thing, not a fake one, not the real thing, man. Congrats, Griff.
Awesome. I think the plaque being here is awesome. It's great for the fans to be able to see it in person. Those that can't make it to Cooperstown, what a great opportunity to see it here.
It's for Junior.
Yeah. But it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. I'd do it all over again.
I remember my son saying way back, he saw him actually down in 87, I believe, he was down in spring training, and he says, he's going to be good. Yeah.